Hi, everyone. I hope you're doing well today. I wanted to share some insights into crisis communications, PR, and leadership. I imagine some folks will probably ask, why do you always talk about crisis communications, PR, and leadership? Well, I talk about these subjects because it's my gift, it's my niche, and it's what I'm passionate about. Even more, I get a lot of gratification out of seeing businesses and organizations overcome some of their PR nightmares and help them to create narratives that places them in a positive perspective. From time to time, I have some pretty compelling and engaging conversations with some of my colleagues and friends about crisis communications. So I thought I'd offer a bit of insight about this topic for those of you that might not be quite familiar. So I want to begin by simply defining crisis communications. Now, from my experience, crisis communications is not just about responding to bad news. It's about maintaining trust, managing perceptions, and ensuring critical information reaches the right people at the right time. In moments of crisis, whether it's a natural disaster, a public health emergency, an organizational scandal, or an act of violence, such as an active shooter incident, people look to leadership for guidance. They look to leadership for clarity and reassurance. Now, effective crisis communications is not just a skill, it's a responsibility. So briefly, I'd like to cover 5 essential principles of crisis communications. Number 1, clarity, communicating with purpose and precision. Transparency is key. For those of you who function in PR capacity, I want to assure you of this. Concealing the truth is certainly a recipe for a disaster. The public, stakeholders, and media certainly value honesty over a polished pen. The other piece to that is this. I know they can be challenging and often even troubling sometimes to confront the truth, but a lack of transparency breeds speculation, and speculation fuels misinformation. I can assure you that's not a rabbit hole you want to go down. But keep your messages simple and focused. Now, I'm going to keep this a buck, as they say, and it's not to offend anyone, but I've learned that people in leadership roles can sometimes get lost in their messaging and speak right over a person's head. But during a crisis, people are incredibly overwhelmed, and you must understand that they are not there to be impressed. They're not there to support your campaign, but they are there because they are simply in need. So your messaging must be clear, it must be concise and very easy to understand, and most importantly, by all means, avoid jargon and acronyms. Speak in normal, elementary terms that your audience can quickly absorb and process. Speed, acting quickly without rushing. The first narrative wins, as they say. In the digital age, as you all know, news travels at lightning speeds. If you don't control the narrative, someone else will. A rapid response does not mean reckless communications. If at all possible, prepare your key messages in advance. Remember this, 2793. I'll cover that in another video. Use multiple platforms to reach your audiences. Different people receive information in different ways. Could be press conferences, social media, emails, or direct community engagement. Know your audience and reach them wherever they are. Empathy, speaking to the heart as well as the mind. People remember exactly how you made them feel. Facts are important, but emotions drive trust. Show that you understand the gravity of the situation and the concerns of those individuals affected. Deliver messages with compassion and sincerity. Acknowledge the human impact. Whether it's lives lost, jobs affected, or a community shaken, always recognize the emotional toll of the crisis. Never appear to be detached or robotic. People recognize authenticity, so connect on a human level. Leadership, owning the moment and setting the tone. Visibility matters. In a crisis, leaders can't hide, so your presence and your voice provide stability and reassurance. Whether you're a fire chief, a CEO, elected official, or pastor, lead from the front. Unified messaging is critical. Ensure that your leadership team speaks with one voice. Conflicting messages cause confusion and it erodes trust. Coordinate with your stakeholders and your partners to deliver a consistent and aligned response. Preparedness. The work begins before the crisis. Develop crisis communications plan in advance. If your organization does not have a crisis communications plan, unfortunately, you're already behind. Identify key spokespeople, draft template statements, and establish communication channels in advance. Train, practice, and adapt. Conduct, whenever possible, crisis drills. The time to learn is not during an emergency. The other thing, adapt your strategies based on past experiences and evolving threats. So I want to close with this: the responsibility of leadership. Crisis communications is not a function of public relations. It's leadership in its purest form. It's about standing firm in the storm, delivering clarity when confusion reigns, and showing compassion when fear takes hold. As leaders, don't forget to choose when a crisis happens, but we do get to choose how we respond. We must be prepared, we must be intentional, and above all, we must be trusted voices in times of uncertainty. I challenge each of you to take these principles and apply them to your roles, because when a crisis strikes, people will look to you for guidance. Let's make sure we're ready. I'm Kevin Cartwright with Media Masters. Be well.